all artists. We're all supposed to be artists. Do not tell me how to paint. Just tell me what to paint. What picture do you want? If whatever picture you want, I'll paint it for you. Yeah. I'll do it my way. But don't try to tell me how to paint, because you can't tell me how to be me.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.
Jonah here, Rewind, Recap, Relive at the big event. Again, very happy to be here with an extremely special guest, the one and only, formerly Top Dollar, AJ Francis in the house. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, I'm the biggest at the big event. Well, I guess Big Show's bigger than me. So other than the Big Show, I'm the biggest at the big event.
No, absolutely. I saw Big Show's boots over there, and they're massive, those boots. How big are yours boots?
I don't really wear wrestling boots, so I wear a size 16. I think Big Show wears like a 22 or some ridiculous shit like that.
It did not look real.
Yeah.
Well, so happy to be here with you. And my first question is, coming into WWE with Hit Row, such a unique, really iconic stable that it was, I felt a little bit short-lived. I feel like there was so much more to it. But can you talk about the creation of Hit Row and everything that went into that group?
So Hit Row was my brainchild when I was on the Indies before I signed with WWE. A lot of people don't know I did the Indies for a year before I signed with WWE. My faction was called The Row, and it was a hip-hop record label faction based off of Death Row Records because I look like Suge Knight. And so my character's name was Sugar Bear, right? So the whole thing was The Row. I got to WWE, and I teamed up with Tahuti and Brianna, B-Fab, and Ashante the Adonis. And the three of us were the Hitmakers originally, which then became Hit Row. And then about 2 weeks before we debuted, they added Swerve to the crew. We debuted May 4th, 2021. Had the fastest call-up to SmackDown ever in 4 months. And then they just didn't really have a plan for us. They didn't see what we saw. So they let us go, and then they brought us back. But when they brought us back, they just brought us back to bring us back. They didn't bring us back with a plan or any tangible goal. And then also they didn't really listen to a lot of the ideas that we had. So it was just, honestly, it was a sad waste because Hit Row could have been something special, especially for the black community. Hit Row could have been something special, and now it'll just be a footnote in the careers of everybody involved.
Yeah, definitely a fond memory as a fan of Hit Row, though. Like, still, it was awesome. I'm always interested, did you actually pitch anything for them, like ideas or anyone in the group that they didn't take? Because I agree with you, it did feel a little bit lost.
We pitched ideas every single week. We pitched multiple ideas every single week. There's not a talent on the roster that we didn't pitch an idea with. We pitched an idea with R-Truth where R-Truth would join us, and then we would get on a win streak, and then we'd lose a big match, and we would jump him and get him out. Sound familiar? Yeah. We pitched an idea with Bray Wyatt on the movie Leprechaun in the Hood, which is a classic and one of Bray's favorite movies, which I didn't know at the time when I pitched him the idea, him and Bo the idea. I said, yo, you guys ever seen the movie Leprechaun in the Hood? And they were both like, Lep in the Hood, up to no good. I was like, what? You guys know the movie? So the idea was that we stumble across the Firefly Funhouse, and everything's decrepit in there. Like, everything in there is cobwebs everywhere. And then I find Ramblin' Rabbit, and I pick him up. And when I pick him up, the place goes haywire. Everything starts going crazy. And we're like, let's get out of here. And we, like, run away. And then, Bray Wyatt comes to us as human form Bray Wyatt, like, hey man, just give me Ramblin' Rabbit back and we can go back to, we can go back to how it was. But just like in the movie Leprechaun in the Hood, now we got good luck, like the golden flute in the movie, right? We got good luck. We're winning now. So I'm like, nah, I ain't giving you this back. So then now Bray systematically hunts us down, just like he did with LA Knight. Like this whole pitch, I can show you.
Oh really?
I got the pitch on my phone. Like, show you how detailed this is. Bray pitch. Look at that.
No, that's crazy.
Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4, Scene
This
5.
is like pages for everyone who's...
This is like, we had dozens of ideas that we pitched. They just didn't have a plan for us. They didn't want to use any of them. There was a time when we had the matches with LA Knight. My last match in WWE was with LA Knight. That week I wanted to drop a diss song on LA Knight. And I had the diss song. I said I want to drop it. They were like, don't put it out, because one of the lines in there I say was, is they say you biting off Stone Cold and The Rock, man, they did it wrong. You clearly biting off Little John. Yeah, like so that was the line, which is a good line.
That's it, yeah.
So, but then I show them the video and they say, well, we don't know if we can talk about how people say he's ripping off Stone Cold and The Rock. We should leave that alone. And then 2 weeks later, Miz said it.
Right, he did. Yeah.
So it was like, we never got a real chance to show what we're going to do. And people like you, like other fans, ask all the time, yo, did you guys pitch any ideas? Thinking that we were just sitting back there, sitting on our hands, waiting, just enjoying the checks rolling in. We pitched multiple ideas every single week to the point that the writing staff would stop responding to our text messages. Like, that's a fact. So it's like, yes, we pitched a lot of ideas. The reason you didn't see any of them is because they didn't want to use them. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, there's no secret. You outside, when the stuff we don't see with you on the screen, you're constantly doing stuff. The diss tracks you're releasing post WWE, everything you're doing WWE during on social media. Like you yourself, yeah, you definitely have a lot of ideas. One question I want to ask now: we have The Rock back on SmackDown as a heel at this point in his career. It's really exciting for a lot. Myself as a fan, I love it. I saw you were there. You have a picture with The Rock when he returned the first time with, I think it was the Austin Theory.
That was my last SmackDown before I got released. Yeah.
Sorry to bring that, but yeah, did you get any advice from The Rock, or what are your thoughts on The Rock being back overall?
Yeah, that night Rock told me he loves what I'm doing. He told me that he loves everything I'm doing. Rock told me that he loves the diss tracks. Rock told me that he appreciates the fact that I actually am a fan of the business and the work that I put in, and he appreciates the fact that I put the work in and am willing to do whatever it takes to try to stand out. He said that's going to take me very far, and then I got released a week later. So it's like, it's crazy because like The Rock absolutely believes in me. Paul Heyman is one of my biggest supporters. R-Truth is one of my biggest supporters. So it's like there's a lot of people that support me very well. So it's like clearly I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And the fact is like now people are like, man, now that I'm in TNA and MLW and NWA and all these other shows, they're like, oh man, I love what you're doing now. And I'm like, this is the same thing I could have been doing. I just am getting the opportunity to, right? So it's like, and I am very grateful for that. But The Rock as a heel, I knew like the whole Cody Crybaby thing, like people were so anti-Rock for some reason, and it made him a heel. And I'm like, yo, y'all do realize heel Rock is the biggest babyface in the world. Like I don't know why people forgot that. Heel Rock is the biggest babyface in the world. So last night, if I'm not mistaken, they booed Seth and Cody.
We watched it on the way over here. Yeah, he did a great Rock concert, and I was like, this is so manipulative for like a heel to do, like to turn that around. Like,
yeah, and it's great because now you see The Rock and you're like, oh yeah, The Rock is the greatest of all time. I'm like, duh, y'all forgot? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with y'all?
that's so true. Well, you mentioned earlier LA Knight. I want to go back to that. I didn't know your last match was with LA Knight. That's cool. But there was this one moment when LA Knight was just about to get that meteoric rise, and I think it was a segment with Hit Row that made the after show or like the YouTube segment, something to that effect. It was a dark match. Okay.
Yeah, it was the dark match in the Garden. And we came to the show with no creative. And the truth of what happened is it was a show in Madison Square Garden, and LA Knight was still a heel, but he was getting the biggest babyface reactions of anybody. So they were like, all right, we need him, for the first time ever, we're going to make him a babyface. Who can we put him with that's not already on the show? And they were like, Hit Row. And that video got like 2 million views in 24 hours or something like that. And no shade to LA Knight. This is not a shot at LA Knight. I love LA Knight. But like, since then, not just LA Knight, let's go full WWE. How many other videos have done that many views in 24 hours? So is it just LA Knight? Because if you watch the video, the first thing that you see on that video is me talking. So it's like, if you go look at the comments, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of LA Knight comments. People love LA Knight, as they should. He's great. But there's a lot of people shitting on me, which is my job as a heel, right? So it's like, there's a lot of things that we could have done with that, which is why I wanted to drop the diss track. But, it was not meant to be. And to be honest with you, I'm in a better place now. I'm a bigger star now that I've left WWE than I ever was in WWE. And that says a lot.
It does. You're carving a great path, like post WWE, and I love to hear that you mentally feel like you're in a better place too. A moment during your WWE career that a lot of people talk about, but you released something about that it actually saved your life was that the botch over the top rope. I don't know how many people know that did in turn save your life. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I've done that dive probably 10 times before then. And, my blood sugar was so high because I had diabetes and I didn't know it. And after that night, I was like, my legs just didn't work. And I was just confused. So, because of that, over the next few weeks, I was going to different doctors and getting opinions. And finally, I got blood results. And they were like, yo, you need to go. Like, the doctor called me. He was like, where are you? I was like, I'm at home. He was like, do you have somebody to drive you here? I was like, what? He's like, I need you to come to the doctor's office right now. I was like, okay. And it was because my blood sugar was so high that I could go into a coma at any time. So he didn't want me to drive there in case I went into a coma while I was driving. So, off of that, I ended up getting my medication, and now I'm better than ever. Now I'm 330 pounds, and I look like I'm 280. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do.
So it's like I'm in the best shape of my life, and it's because I'm actually properly medicated now. So, people talk about the botch because that's the only thing they can talk about. What are they going to talk about? My NFL career when they couldn't start on JV? What are they going to talk about? My WWE career when the only time they've ever worked in a ring was probably in a gym like this? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are they going to talk about there? What are they going to talk about? I'm not broke. I made millions of dollars before I started wrestling. So, like, I went on tour making music before I started wrestling. So, like,
and it shows. It shows.
What are they going to talk about? So it's like, Mackenzie Mitchell just waved at me because she's a beautiful soul. But
knows what's up with Top Dollar. Yeah.
Absolutely. Who hotter, not nada. You know what I'm saying? And so, but like, they don't have anything else to talk about. So they harp on this one thing. And people, I've known that forever. I've known that for over a year that this is all people have to talk about. But me saying that, it looks like sour grapes. Oh, he can't take a joke. I'm like, no, you motherfuckers got the same joke. All y'all got the same joke. And now, a year later, that's the only joke anybody has. And people are like, yo, this is played out. I'm like, yeah. It's been played out, you know what I'm saying?
No. Well, I want to wind it down now. Very gracious with your time. Thank you. You mentioned, so you're happier now, and your path post-WWE, I feel, is really unique, like carving your own thing. I'm curious if you have any advice for someone who is trying to make it big, but how they can maybe also venture on their own or do extra things like you've done on social media to build your name.
So find your niche. For example, also, don't listen to nobody that's not fucking paying you. Like, I don't take advice from people that didn't put money in my pocket. Like, when I'm at TNA because Tommy Dreamer brought me in. If Tommy Dreamer says, hey, yeah, I know, he's over there, yeah. If Tommy Dreamer comes and says, hey, you should probably do this thing, I'm going to be like, okay, Tommy, you're the reason I'm here. I'll take your advice. But if random wrestler X comes up and says, hey, what do you think about this? I'll take it in. But if it's not for me, I'm not going to be like, well, let me do it because they told me to. We're all artists. We're all supposed to be artists. Do not tell me how to paint. Just tell me what to paint. What picture do you want? If whatever picture you want, I'll paint it for you. Yeah. I'll do it my way. But don't try to tell me how to paint because you can't tell me how to be me. Just like I can't tell you how to be you. I hate when I go do a match with somebody, if I'm the heel, I tell them, I say, what do you want to do in the shine? For those that don't know, the shine is the beginning of the match when you make the babyface look good, right? What do you want to do in the shine? You don't know? That's terrible. Okay, get that together. But, okay, let's come up with ideas for what you can do in the shine. But then when I say, all right, this is what I'm going to do in the heat, I don't want to hear, well, what do you think? No. That's me. This is my part. You got your part. Your part is the shine. And we're going to do what you want to do to make you look good. And in the heat, that's on me. And then we'll do your comeback, right? And then we'll have the finish. And we can put all that together. But, like, don't tell me how to be me. You can't tell me how to be me. 95% of wrestlers are 5'10", 190 pounds. What the hell you going to tell me I'm 6'5", 330? Let's be real.
USADA, yeah.
I'll listen to Big Show. I steal a bunch of Big Show shit. I'd steal a stand on the throat gimmick.
The chop in the corner.
Chop. the big whip back in the corner. I steal all that shit from Big Show.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? I steal shit from Kane. I steal shit from Taker. I steal shit from Diesel and Kevin Nash. Like, I steal shit from other big guys, from Vader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nothing against Daniel Bryan. I went to WrestleMania 30 because I love Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I heard.
Big, huge fan. I have WrestleMania 30 logo tatted on me.
Wait, that's so cool.
Because I went to WrestleMania 30 and for Yesomania.
Yeah.
And I really went for Bray Wyatt and John Cena. But yeah, it was Yesomania and I was there. But like if me and Daniel Bryan is an incredible wrestler.
Yeah.
But like I can't wrestle like him. And he shouldn't wrestle like me. So like we got to do our own thing if we have a match. You see what I'm saying? Like,
So it makes it exciting, all different flavors.
Yes, exactly. People ask, why do you wear a basketball jersey when you wrestle? Because it's enough of these dudes in little draws out here. If you got a fixation on the brothers with little draws, that's cool. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not me, right? I'm gonna come out in a basketball jersey. All these other brothers got abs. That ain't me, and that ain't never gonna.
Not us either.
Yeah, that ain't never gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I fully envelop who I am, and I project that out to the audience, and it comes off, and people recognize that.
I mean, well said, really well said. Great answer. And again, thank you. Awesome seeing you here at the big event. Top Dolla, AJ Francis, who's hotter?
Not nada.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interviews.